Okay, this is the energy update. February 19th to the beginning of March. I would say the 1st of March for now, right? Roughly. And what I perceived very strongly was a suggestion, a message that asked us to close our eyes and see what's there. So we close our eyes and we see what's there, and the first reaction is, well, nothing, because my eyes are closed. And then the second thing is, okay, well, I see kind of, light and dark and all that. And then after a while, I realize that what is going on is that I have certain thoughts. Like thoughts come up and I observe my thoughts because my eyes are closed, right? So I can't observe what's out there, so I observe my thoughts. And then I realize that there's a lot going on within me. It's not just thoughts, there are emotions, there are different things, there are questions, there are ideas, there are plans, to-do lists, lots of stuff in there, right? And then when we open our eyes again, we're confronted with the external world. But collectively, what does that message mean? It means that realize that everything you perceive, even if it's coming from the outside, you perceive on a global scale or in your outside environment, everything is being dealt with within you. Now that's nothing new, but sometimes we need to be reminded of that, because a lot of people, they just give their power completely away and they're completely on autopilot or remote controlled by their conditioning and by the outside world. And that is what is coming up very strongly now during these next 2 weeks, possibly beyond, but that's very strong for now, and that's the message for now. Realize that whatever you perceive on the outside, globally, collectively, politically, and you let in, what happens is not that you take a few facts and there they are, and then you let them go again. For most people, what happens is they take some message, with truth or not truth, facts or no facts, whatever, they take it in, and then it gets digested with our own filters, with our own perspective, and molded into our own internal conversational lump. Right? We have this conversation within us about this, and we assert our perspective. We get clear on how do I view this or not, and what are my emotions, and usually they're very negative emotions, especially if we look at the news. Like the past couple of months have been incredibly intense because there has been so much negativity on a global scale in every country with COVID, with the political aspects, right? We all know what we're talking about. So when we realize that, okay, what happens is I let something in, I see something with my eyes, or I hear something, take that in, and everything else happens within me. Everything else happens within me. The whole dialogue happens within me. And then I contribute to the collective energy. But what is coming out of me? What do I talk about? What energy do I emanate? What is coming out of me? And that usually is no different than what I've taken in. Like if it was something positive, let's say you enjoyed a rainbow and you had delight in this rainbow when you saw it for a few minutes. And then you go interact with people. Your energy field is full of that rainbow light. Okay? We can all agree on that. If we take in positive energy and consume positive energy, that's what we radiate out, because our internal conversation is positive, our emotions become positive, and we're actually able to share this with the outside world. We're able to get it out there. But most of the stuff we're dealing with, and we have been dealing with, and these are intense times, these are difficult times. Most of these things are so negative, are so I don't even want to say negative because it's a judgment. Duality is okay, but they're dense in energy. They're low in vibration. And therefore, if we don't close our eyes and find our way back within, which means create within positivity, love, light, hope, strength for others, support, compassion, kindness, and radiate that out. If we don't do that, if we stay focused on this outside world, open our eyes, let everything in, digest it, and then talk about it, tell everybody how we feel about it and how this is upsetting, how this is annoying, how this is disgusting, how this should be different, and all the rest. We're contributing to a collective energy of low vibration. And that's the message. Each and every one of us is not insignificant. Just imagine if we all did that, if we all chose to not engage as much or not at all with negative messages from the outside or images from the outside, just for a bit, just as an experiment, which doesn't mean you have to ignore everything and you have to be neutral to everything. But realize what is it you can change and what is it you can have an effect on. If you see something that you don't like, let's say a violent situation against whoever, you say that's not right, that has to stop. That's valid to feel that. But by you regurgitating that over and over again, you're not contributing to the solving of this energy, of this problem out there. You're not contributing. You're not being supportive with the energies that you send out. So if instead you realize whatever I observe, I judge within myself. First of all, it's just an observation. It's just something I see. And then it comes in, and then my brain talks about it. I have certain emotions about it. My body reacts in a certain way. But that's all within me. The experience of what I have let in is all within me. That's where the power is. And this is how we can help each other and how we can help the collective. If you notice it's too low in vibration, what you allow your eyes to see. And also we need to be much more careful. What do we allow our eyes to see? Right? What do we allow our eyes to see? Is it okay to watch a war movie every night? What happens within us and with our energy? And what is it we contribute then to the collective field? And all of you light workers, you get this. And you know that from within you contribute to the out there. And you know that from within your light will find another light within someone else. And the web gets woven. You know it. And for these 2 weeks now, in February, it is important to remind yourself of that. Not just the light workers, all of us, to be much more conscious about our internal world and about what we allow inside, how we're dealing with this, and how we bring it out then. And also that we choose deliberately, if something comes in that is of a negative nature, right? Something we don't agree with, then realize that you can choose the perspective you want. You can either choose to have a fearful stance on it, or you can choose to be objective and not be touched by the fear aspect, or not be touched by it at all because it's none of your concern right now. And if it does become a concern at some stage in the future, then you can think about it. But for now, it's not an issue in your today life. So that you don't just fall into old patterns of reactivity and old patterns of interpretation. because we have been conditioned that way, but that you realize you can choose the way you interpret something. You can choose to have a new perspective, to have a perspective from a different level of consciousness than our own conditioning level. And if we all do that, if we're much more conscious of that, the vibration will be able to become lighter again within the collective. And that's the resonance. That's what I feel is required of us within the next couple of weeks. And that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm going to love you and leave you for today, and we'll talk again next time.